Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This session focuses on British and American English varieties in Pakistan. I hope by the end of this session you will be able to understand language practices in Pakistan in relation to the choices of British and American varieties of English language. Well, my dear students, starting with the British variety of English, I would say that there is a certain colonial background that is attached to the use of British variety of English in Pakistan. And in fact, through the colonial experience in the subcontinent that was later on carried on after the independence of Pakistan, both in terms of language policy as well as in terms of education policy of Pakistan, there is a huge acceptability of British variety of English in Pakistan. In fact, it is not only, that the education system of Pakistan is based on English language, it is actually, all the aspects of this education system are related to the use of English language. So, British variety of English language is used for various purposes. It is used in the classroom for pedagogical purposes by the teachers. The textbooks that are designed for being taught at different levels in Pakistan, from the very early levels to the higher education levels, any textbook, especially, because in Pakistan, different textbook boards design books, especially from class 1 to class 12, that is grade 12, at all these stages when the textbooks are designed, the variety of English that is used is the British English. Apart from the textbooks, all the supporting materials that are used for the pedagogical purposes, they are also traditionally and customarily in British English language variety. When it comes to the libraries, if we look at the old tradition of all the collected data in the forms of books and in the forms of periodicals and journals and materials, most of it, until recently, I would say, is in the British variety of English language. English language and the British variety of English language is not only used in Pakistan in the education sector, but also it is used in the legal sector. The legal system of Pakistan, again, is a legacy of the British colonial system. And in fact, the same legal system is carried forward after the independence of Pakistan. So all the legal documents in Pakistan, they are only available in, English language. The processes of documentation, the processes of the legal processes and all the practices that are involved in that, they are found in British English. So, all the records that are kept in the legal system of Pakistan, they are all in British English. And, as a matter of fact, they are not also available even in Urdu language for the masses or for the common people. On the other hand, if we compare with all this use and usage of the British variety of English, there is an emerging trend of using the American variety of English. This is a very recent phenomenon, generally speaking, through the last couple of decades, and especially through the 1 decade, we can notice this trend as emerging very speedily. Now, why this American variety has emerged? This has emerged mainly through media. With the introduction of social media and new media as a global media, the American variety of English has taken over the British variety. And, this taking over of the British variety has not happened only in the case of Pakistan. It has taken place in the same way, in all the countries who have some experience of being colonized in the past. The role of electronic media, the flow of knowledge, and, in fact, the creation of knowledge, this is what, is a significant factor that has played a role in giving this American variety, a currency in the modern times. In fact, the USA as a custodian of knowledge and information has emerged on the scene. and all the electronic as well as the social media, all the websites and all the databases of information, they are created and the flow is generated from the USA. So the natural aspect, or the natural, I would say, after effect of that or side effect of that is, the language that is being used is their variety of English, that is American English. So, all the e-books and all the e-materials that are available today, all the websites that we come across, all the e-libraries that we have access through different higher education institutions and through other personal resources, they all provide information in the American variety of English. The control that the USA has on the social media, it has given it control and power on the choice of language as well. And what is interesting with reference to the choice of these varieties in Pakistan is a paradigm shift in the choices of the youth in Pakistan, because the urbanized youth of Pakistan today, they watch movies and they watch seasons and they watch programs that come from the American sources. Thus, their exposure to the American variety of English language is far greater than the British variety, which they come across only in their educational system. Secondly, the change in the traditional educational system also, and the privatization or processes of education also have affected this. So, in terms of identity and in terms of identity shift, what we notice is that the youth relates itself more towards the American variety of English language. And you would often listen to these young people using certain pronunciations, for example, schedule instead of schedule, whereas, schedule is from the American English, for instance, and schedule from the British English. So, not only the vocabulary choices, but also, choices of, linguistic structures and the total linguistic behavior, they have undergone a lot of change in Pakistan.